Highlanders' plane trip to South Africa would have been a high point for a lot of these players' careers following their thrashing in round 11 of the Lions. 50-0 they beat the South African team by, but today they are making their way to South Africa. They're here at Newlands Stadium and they're facing the Stormers in round 12. Hello everyone and welcome along to Cornflakes Crib, your home of Rugby Challenge 2 and the Highlanders' career, where we are into the 12th round of the Super Rugby competition. The Highlanders' 10th match so far, and they'll be high on life at the moment following their recent form. But it is the Stormers first up we have here, the home team for today, who aren't quite feeling as on top of the world as their opponents today might be. Their team has quite the few injury worries, and they have done almost the unthinkable in leaving Jean de Villiers on the bench. That is an amazing thing from their squad announcement this week. In other news for their injuries, it is Jaco Tauta, who was out for months, 3 months he is about out for, and they also have 3 other minor injuries throughout the bench players as well. But as usual, it is a very strong Stormers side, led by big front row players like Exabeth, Berger, Vermeulen, to name just a few, and very few players brought in from the transfer market during the off-season as well, namely just left winger Mlambo and the fullback Takahiro Watabe, the Japanese player. So that is it for them. Let's see how they get on against the high-flying Highlanders after their amazing win last week, 15-0. They thrashed the Lions by. Now they start their South African tour, and the squad is completely unchanged bar one. The management have decided they've gone against fan pressure here, putting Sexton straight back into number 10 and maybe shifting West out to fullback, but they have kept true. West's running game is the reason that they are going so well on the backs at the moment. Sexton doesn't bring that quite the same. His kicking game is important. He'll slot back at fullback and we'll see how he goes there. Otherwise, unchanged team that won 15-0, and they are going great at the moment in a real tussle in the New Zealand Conference along with the Chiefs and the Highlanders for those middle 3 positions. But today it is round 12. It is the Highlanders against the Stormers. And we look ready for kickoff. It will be the Stormers, the home side, to kick off. Their form not being too great just before we start. 2 losses in their last 2 outings. And we are underway. Round 12 of Super Rugby here at Newlands Stadium is underway, and the Stormers get the ball straight back down through the Argentinian like Carriza. And they look at this straight away. Intensive start here from the Stormers, and it will be the first choice straight away to Mlambo, the Zimbabwean. What a start for the Stormers. Who saw that coming? And no one. The Highlanders can't believe what's happened here. It was Carriza that took the ball in, that were held up, but it come back for the left winger and Mlambo. What a start. Such pace too. There was express. You see him there at the back of that maul. He picked it up. There was a bit of a gap there. He stepped Hogard, the former South African player, and look at him go. In he goes. The Zimbabwean scores first. An amazing start to this match. The Stormers won't be held scoreless today. Of course, the Stormers, if you tuned into last season's Super Rugby competition, as Grant's kick is flawless, over it goes, and it's 7-0 to the Stormers. So yeah, as I was saying, if you tune into last season's Super Rugby competition, the Stormers, of course, were successful, but we've moved on from that now. The Highlanders looking for a long-time career here, and it's Sexton struggling to make his way back into the side as he kicks off to the left. Stowers waits for it, everyone does, but look who's picked it up. It's that little left winger again, Mlambo, and he's breaking away from Newlands on it now, and he goes trundling up over halfway. The Highlanders trail by 7, haven't touched the ball yet at all. Hogard's got it, now they've got the ball. Ben Smith, always in a bit of trouble here. Ben Smith gets it back to Coltman. How far on the line? Thorne, catch and pass from Thorne. Good play out to Ranger. Ranger grubbers ahead, but it's well taken from the defence coming across. Here's Carr. Short pass to Liebenberg, and oh, hammered out on the left side again is Mlabo. And Mlabo takes it into touch. And what a start to this match already. The Highlanders now with a chance though. Just outside the 22 of the Stormers, Newland Stadium. Fortress here. Haggard, big pass wide to Nasi Manu. Charges forward, gives it to West. Oh, West nearly got the big overlap he was desiring there. Haggard goes himself, gives it to Stowers. Here's the leading try scorer for the Highlanders. He grabs the head, gets hammered from behind. And Alfoa is the only one chasing. And the Stormers force it in goal. We'll give Grant a chance to clear from their line. The dropout comes away and it bounces on about the 10-metre line, and Ben Smith takes it in. Saili hasn't had the ball much today already. Oh, good pass from Coleman. Matera's in some space. He's got Alfoa, and it's West. Still got Stowers. Sherwin Stowers down the left, and the Highlanders will reply instantly. And look at Stowers around under the posts. Great try from the Highlanders. Quick hands, short passes. Perfect conditions for that kind of rugby here at Newland Stadium. And Sherwin Stowers adds himself another try. Oh, that looked forward too. That was majorly forward. Big forward pass. Sherwin Stowers benefits from the officiating. And the Highlanders right back. Oh, our forward. That was miles forward. Oh, wow. The refs missing the beat there big time. The Highlanders, they will get the 5 points they shouldn't have got. And they find themselves right back in this match. A great reply. First real opportunity. And they've taken it with both hands. Sexton, he's in the team for this aspect of his game. The kicking and the 2 points. Sexton delivers. 7-all. Newland Stadium, round 12 of Super Rugby. And the Highlanders and the Stormers are all tied up after 18 minutes. One converted try apiece. And a real ripper match here. The Stormers, interestingly enough, are 4th place in the South African Conference, only with 1 win to their name so far and a paltry 6 points. As the Highlanders take the ball down, and Saili will play scrum half. Manu, good play from Nasi Manu. Alfoa gets it away to Stowers. He's still got Ratulik, the big lock, bundling downfield. Here comes the defence. Big pass wide for West, and he gives it away, and it's safety. Oh no, it's not safety at all. Back for Thorne. Could be another for Stowers. Tries to get through. Can he get it down? He does. I thought Dallady had saved the day for the Stormers, but Sherwin Stowers strikes for the second time following the turnover from the man on the left there. John Alfoa, I think there was Alfoa involved. It was. Great play from the big man, and then the pass from Thorne. Brad Thorne getting that last play, and then in the midst of the tackle, Stowers has the strength. Oh, what a play. What a ruck turnover from Alfoa. He got through Watabi, the fullback. I think that was Watabi at the back. And the tackle from Vermeulen, not good enough to stop a double from Sherwin Stowers. He is looking fantastic this season. Once again, we go back to the man who's really struggling in his spot, but what a kick from Sexton. That is an absolute screamer. And the Highlanders lead 14-7. Well, they missed this without Sexton, but you already know that a couple of line breaks from Ihia West is what's keeping him in that number 10 jumper. They're trying to hide Sexton. Here's the kickoff from Grant. It's deep down, and Robshaw picks it up, gives it to Ranger. Already Ranger breaking away on the defence. Ben Smith, pass from Ranger. Ben Smith down the right, shot the gate. Ben Smith is gone, and it is another try for the Highlanders, who are looking just far superior today. Where have the Stormers gone? They turned up for the opening 10 minutes, and now they've departed, and the Highlanders are taking full toll of the situation. It was a simple play. It was down the short side off the kickoff, and Rennie Ranger and Ben Smith, such explosive, dangerous, elusive runners of the ball, and they combine themselves. Look at that, and the tackle of Watabi. And Ben Smith That was far too easy. He was just jogging. Didn't even need to put it into top gear. And he dots down. He's actually scoring a few tries from outside centre as well as Ben Smith. And how good are these Highlanders looking? They're coming off a 50-0 thrashing of the Lions. Now they've come to Newlands and they're facing the Stormers. 16 from right in front nails it. Oh, he's really putting his place up in the stars at the moment. Here's Johnny Sexton. 3 pinpoint perfect kicks. He knows why he's there. The Highlanders know why he's there. And they're getting the job done. What a team they have become at the moment. What happened in the last 2 weeks? Grant will kick off again. He goes over towards his forwards, but Coltman comes away with it. Goes back to Hogard, who's been quiet. Saili. Smith again. Away for Ranger. Oh, they've turned it around this time. Looking for Alfoa. Running the line. Nice save to Saili. Francis Saili on the pass from Alfoa. He won't get around the sticks. Good defence from De Jong, but what a try. 4 tries. Bonus point time for the Highlanders. How good are they? Boy, I can't say it enough. They are outstanding at the moment. Rennie Ranger feeding off Ben Smith. The tackle come in from Watabi, but look at the support from Alfoa and Saili. Francis Saili, too easy. He's got speed, enough to get away from De Jong, who's very fast, but had enough speed, had enough room to get away from Vermeulen. That was the real task at hand. After that, it was an easy run into the corner. And another try for the Highlanders, who now have 4 tries in the first half for the 2nd week in a row, after struggling so much to get their tries. So far this season, they've really put a struggle in now. These last 2 rounds, they've hammered home 2 bonus points, and Sexton, oh, what can you say? Running out of superlatives once again for the 2nd week in a row for this Highlanders outfit. They really took some time to come together. They struggled to get the continuity they needed. But now it's come alive. It's really stormed into life. As here comes De Jong. Now the Stormers have got a kick-off. This is interesting as Kuriza. He goes up to the 22 and a big tackle from Thorne.
Release.
Tries to turn it over to... Oh, he has turned it over. Here's Ratulik. Away to West. West has split them in half again. Here's playing well too. Ranger trying to kick that away. Just gets ankle tapped. Pushed into touch. Looking at his options. Rennie Ranger. Not the right one there. A line out. Liebenberg for the Stormers. Throws it into the front. Nicely taken from Kuriza. Now they look to the outside. Does Dealandi going wide for De Jong. He cuts it wide, even wider for Aplon. Now we haven't seen Aplon in this match at all today. And what a thunderous tackle from Sexton. Puts him into touch. And we'll head to the sheds half time. The Highlanders dominating this match, 28 points to 7. Well, the Stormers should be happy. They've got a try. They managed more than the Lions did last week, but these Highlanders players are absolutely screaming out of their skins at the moment. 67% of possession. That's a good amount, but it's not huge. It's not one-sided as 80 could possibly be, like the scoreline would suggest. Territory, they've just nudged that out by 59%. They've made just 4 handling errors, which isn't bad at all, and 8 line breaks. That is destructive. That's the Highlanders at their very best at the moment. Only forced to make 11 tackles to the Stormers 29, and the scoreline of 28-7 tells the full story. The game is almost over as a contest. The minutes tick by. It'll die even more as a competition between these two sides. The Highlanders look odds on here with 40 minutes to go to take their second 5-point win in a row. Let's get back down to Newlands Stadium. The teams are ready to go for the second half of this round 12 Super Rugby match. Sexton's making a good fist of the number 15 jumper today. That has to be said. He's looked solid in defence. There's that half-time buzzer. where he smashed Aplon into touch is just a telling sign of that. As away they come straight away, taken from the Stormers.
Release.
And it's Dealandi who takes it in. And now it's here with the Zimbabwe player who's been a surprise package, Malabo. And now De Jong looks to cart it up. Gets to the 10-metre line. Some early ball here for the Stormers. Cuts a man or two out, and it's advantage for offside as they come wide for Dealandi. He's broken through. Oh, he's gone all the way. Oh, and it's called back. Oh, controversy there. The Stormers are up in arms here about this. What's going on? There was a way. He was gone. It was a try for the Stormers, and they've pulled it back for the offside penalty against the Highlanders. Wow, that is a massive call from the ref. He's called the Stormers back as they're about to score, and they will be absolutely tearing it up about that. And it's a line out though. Oh, stolen from Matera at the back. Hogarth goes for a little scamper, gets through one, finds Matera. Diaz played well, the Argentinian in this lineup. Wait for Saili. Oh, numbers to burn here for Saili. Chips ahead. Ben Smith chases, but Schroeder, who we've hardly mentioned all day, picks it up and goes rumbling into Retallick. He takes him to ground without too much effort. Back it goes for Grant, who gets smashed. Sexton's positional play, not bad. And he'll turn the kick back up against them. A thunderous punt from Sexton. It's missed too from Dealandi. Has to go all the way back for Vermeulen, who's put a foot in touch. Oh, that is a very vital mistake from Vermeulen. It's given the Highlanders the ball inside the Stormers 22. What can they do here? Coltman goes to the front for Thorne. Oh, Hogarth goes through a little scamper, gets hammered. Oh, and it's turned over as well. Well, that's a big play and a high tackle from Afoa. Rounding out that little segment there of mistakes from the Highlanders. But when you're in this situation, they can afford to make a little mistake or two. The Stormers, on the other hand, well, they need to score in the next couple of minutes. Well, this game's just going to dwindle out. A big lead already for the Highlanders, 21 points. Perfect kicking from Sexton means that the Stormers need to score pretty much 4 times here to get back in the lead. Liebenberg again goes to the back again, stolen from Matera, who's being a line-out force at the moment, and then turned over instantly in the ruck, consequently resulting from that little Hogarth run. Sexton's in the line on defence, he's rushing them up too. Oh, there's a good chance, a good play. Wide it goes for Aplon. And he's hammered hard from a couple of Highlanders players out wide. Sexton, oh, West is offside. Oh, Ben Smith going for the intercept. It's come back for Dealandi, who gets wrapped up from Matera. And we go for a stalemate maul. Advantage is over as it's Aplon trying to break his way through. De Jong goes through a couple of players.
Release.
Goes to ground just outside the 22. Stormers hanging on to the ball. Long period here from the Stormers. Oh, good spot tackle there from West. And this could be a turnover. Thanks to that, it is a turnover. And here comes Hogarth. Now it's West again. Siley. Oh, it has to be a chance here for the Highlanders. Back inside it goes. Robshaw pops it up for Retallick. And the big rangy lock out there all by himself. It's turned over. No support for the Highlanders players. Here's Vermeulen running backwards. What exactly is Vermeulen doing here? He's not keen on being tackled at all. Well, that's interesting. What a tactic from the Stormers. No one was interested.
Release.
Now it's Carizza, and he's going to lose possession. Hogarth. Poor pass for Smith. And poor pass back for Stowers. Now he's running backwards. He cops it over the top for Ranger. Ranger goes to the deck. Right on the 10-metre line. Here's Diaz. Oh, the big prop. Goes trundling up over halfway. Comes back now. Here's Hogarth. Back home in South Africa for the little scrum half. Stowers, Saili, popping it around nicely for Thorne. Oh, that was a beautiful line from the big second rower. Back to Stowers. Can he get away? No, he's just shouldered, tapped, ankle tapped almost into touch. Could have been another try. Could have been the hat trick for Sherwin Stowers. This match, though, is all over for the Stormers. 7 to go. It's not straight. It's turnover from Matera again, now it's Hoggard who's on the ball. And this time he keeps possession. It's Manu. Nasi Manu, oh, that's disappointing. You saw them look up for that play instantly, short side. Manu going with Stowers. Didn't come off on that occasion though. Another line out for Liebenberg. Goes to the back. This time it's taken nicely from Etzebeth, who's hardly featured at all today for the Stormers, the South African second rower. Here's Nasi Manu. Good pass. Oh, intercepted from Dealany. Now there's some strife here as Carr goes ranging up outside the 22. Schroeder. Oh, that was a shocking pass to Vermeulen.
Release.
Full time goes. No scores in the second half at all. Now they come left side, turnover from the Highlanders. Diaz, he'll run it, takes a tackle. Saili, spot play with Stowers. Stowers looking to go through. He does, gets through one, but Carr comes and makes the all-important tackle. Here's Hoggard. Big pass wide for Saili. Gonna look to go around his defence. Oh, good play from West. Over the top for Matera. Big ball wide. Ben Smith try. The Highlanders finish on a big high. It's not quite the 50-0, but I think this match will be equally, if not more important than the win over the Lions, because the Stormers are not a team to be scoffed at. They are a good side. Look at that running line from West. Look at the support from Matera, and the finishing still had Rennie Ranger sitting outside Ben Smith. Didn't need him. That's how good they're playing at the moment. It was Saili on Dealany. That was a good matchup there. But look at the support play. That's what's key. Ball retention, support play, and the finishing ability of these players is really coming to the fore now. 2 5-point wins. 2 4-try bonus point wins, if you like another way of putting it. Sexton, can he finish this match off nicely? No, he can't. He nudges it wide as if he's already in the sheds for full time. No matter, the scoreline is already hammering to the Highlanders, 33-7. An amazing result. The win against the Lions was fantastic enough, but to back that up over here in South Africa, Newland Stadium, against the Stormers is a fantastic effort. Magnificently played from the Highlanders. The Stormers were just outclassed by a team who are on top of their game right now. The final score 33-7. The Stormers do not get to add to their points. They stay with just 6 points and the 1 win following their match today against the Highlanders, 33-7. Their points coming from 1 Apollon try, which, if you recall, that was Apollon that scored that. It wasn't Mlambo. Well, that was the wrong side there completely. 1 try, Apollon scoring it, Grant converting. That was, like I say, very much right at the start of the match. And the Stormers looked good. They were up 7-0, and they had the whole match in front of them to consolidate that, but it got blown away big time by the Highlanders. Stowers with a double, Ben Smith with a double, and Saili with just the 1. Sexton, when it mattered, he was excellent with the boot, getting a 4 from 5. And rounding out a very good team performance from the Highlanders. Well, they kept up the pressure all match, looking at their position in territory, 63 and 64. They played the territory game a lot more in that second half. Having Sexton at the back isn't a bad option when you have his hefty boot to rely on for kick returns. So that was a good aspect to come from today's game. Handling errors, there was 10, but boy, did you even notice them? Was there even a scrum in this match? I'm not even sure. There was, of course, the 1 high tackle, but that we can live with. The Highlanders winning 33-7. The Stormers outplayed, outdone, outmuscled, outclassed, and they will be distraught with how they've played today. The Highlanders, though, will continue their South African tour with round 13 still here in South Africa. We'll check out the table and who they have to look forward to for their second leg of the South African tour right now. First up, we will recap the results from round 12 and a couple from round 13. Let's have a look at the results from round 12 first. The Blues, wow, 84-13, hammering the Lions. That's a big victory after their drubbing from the Highlanders the week before. Hurricanes getting a 29-18 win over the Rebels. The Bulls over the Crusaders Waratahs, beating the Brumbies. Sharks, 1-point victory over the Western Force. That's a close one. The Highlanders 33-7 over the Stormers, as we just watched. And the Chiefs narrowly snuck past the Reds at 20 points to 14. Round 13 has a couple of matches already taken place. The Hurricanes going down 18-10 to the Brumbies, and the Waratahs thrashing the Bulls 25 points to 8, which sets us up nicely for our second leg of the South African tour of the Highlanders. It is the Cheetahs who will be the home team for that match. Let's check out the standings here as we wrap things up for round 12 of the Super Rugby Highlanders career mode. And the Highlanders, wow, look at them, well out in front now in second place, have a 2-point lead over the Chiefs. The Hurricanes, wow, they've played an extra match and they are now 4 points behind. So the Hurricanes have fallen off the pace. They're going down with that last loss in round 12. That's hurt them a lot because the Chiefs and the Highlanders both got wins. Both got 5-point, oh no, Chiefs would have got a 4-point win. The Highlanders a 5-point win, and they're looking good too. The Highlanders look 4 bonus points, which means they're there or thereabouts with the other side who have 6. And the Crusaders down the bottom with a paltry 4. That's pathetic from the Crusaders. 1 win. How the mighty have fallen. South Africa sees the Sharks up front 41, way out in front of the Bulls on 30. 24 for the Cheetahs. Well, there's some big gaps here. Stormers 6, Lions zip. In Australia, the Waratahs and the Brumbies lead the way of 39-35. The Reds on 27, the Force 18, and the Rebels rounded out with 6. And that sets up nicely for round 13. The Highlanders to face the Free State Cheetahs in Free State Stadium for round 13. Can they carry on this fantastic form? Well, you have to stick around and find out. That is round 13. That is coming to you very soon. I thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's match, and I'll see you all next time. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And until then, take care.